Morning all, Monday the 21st of July. This is the first of three sort of back-to-back videos. Massive weekend of sport. We had loads of games in the international rugby scene. We had England playing America. We had New Zealand playing France in the third test, whitewash series. We had South Africa playing Georgia, I think. There's all sorts going on. You had massive boxing, which will be the next video. You had the Lions playing, obviously, Australia in the first test. Then you had also UFC. So we're going to touch on the UFC. I didn't watch the whole event. However, I did watch Max Holloway and Dustin the Diamond Poirier in the Diamond's last fight. Great fight. Great scrap, as you expected. Great to see that no one got finished. Because as good as that would have been for the finisher, neither guy deserves to be finished. Max Holloway, iron chin, has only been dropped once, I think. It's only been finished once, and that was recently by the newly crowned lightweight champion, Ilia Topuria. The Diamond, obviously, he's been knocked down, finished a few times, but a legendary career. Unfortunately, he never got his hands on a proper title. He was interim lightweight champion, of course, and then tried to unify the belts against Khabib Nurmagomedov back in 2019, I want to say. Came up short. Had another crack at it against Charles Oliveira this was late 21, early 22, I think. I remember that fight. That was a sensational fight, and that was prime Oliveira, in my opinion. Was against Poirier and Justin Gaethje, prime Oliveira. Anyway, great fight. Went the full 5 rounds. Dustin got smacked onto his backside early in the fight a couple of times. He put Holloway down later on, and it was very much back and forth. It wasn't back and forth in the terms of an unsophisticated slugfest of, all right, I'm going to hit you 2 or 3 times. Oh, now it's your turn. No, it was intricate. It was skillful, but just blood and guts on display. Both guys giving it their absolute all, as you'd expect. Big respect between the two fighters. You know, I think this is their third fight. I want to say, I should have done my research. I want to say that Dustin Poirier has got the better of Max Holloway at least once out of 3, maybe even the first 2. But Holloway got the win in this one. Sensational fight. Holloway, I think it was just his output. He, like I said, he sat Dustin down twice. One of which was a heavy knockdown, I think. In my opinion, it was a heavy knockdown. Poirier put him down as well, but it just felt like Dustin was keeping up with Max, as opposed to dominating the fight and setting his own pace. It felt like he was doing really well, but he was just surviving. That might be putting him down a bit, but Max was setting the pace. Dustin was keeping up with him and having to fight incredibly hard, incredibly fast, high IQ, high skill, everything, just to keep up with him, which was it was great to see. It looked like Dustin had enough at the end when Max went for his customary last 10 seconds. Let's completely empty the tank, and they traded. Max probably about 15 shots to Dustin's 4, and then Dustin sort of held him on, clinched up at the end. Unfortunate that the Diamond didn't get a win in his final fight, but I thought that was somewhat poetic. You know, he gave his all. He emptied the tank. 5 hard rounds against one of the best to ever do it. You know, before Alexander Volkanovski come along, there was a real shout that Max was one of the featherweight goats. Both up at lightweight. Their third fight, a trilogy fight. And to be honest, it sounds harsh, I think this was better than, in some respects, this is better than Dustin going out with a win. Because if he'd have gone out with a win, he's got that belt. Yeah, I know it's the BMF. It's not the Undisputed. It's not one of the proper belts. But I reckon that could have been that thought in his mind thinking, ooh, Shall I do one more? He might have questioned his decision. Whereas he had an absolute 25 minute, 5-round banger with one of the best to ever do it. Held his own. Yes, it looked like Max Holloway was setting the pace, but Dustin performed. So what a career for the Diamond. Obviously 3 fights against Conor McGregor, beat him twice. Failed against Khabib Nurmagomedov, failed against Charles Oliveira, but kept coming back. Benoit Saint-Denis was meant to be the next big thing on the block, smashed him up. He's had some great fights, some legendary performances. What a career in the UFC. And now he can relax, sell his hot sauce, enjoy his life. What next for Max Holloway? That's a conversation for another day, but congratulations to the Diamond, Dustin the Diamond Poirier. What a career, what a performance last night. You know, all that pressure, knowing it's his last ever time inside the octagon in front of his own people, and he still brought it, still brought some serious firepower, and they went toe to toe. It was a great fight, and great to see that respect at the end. I did sort of think, I wonder how Conor McGregor feels watching that. You know, 2 of his former adversaries, both guys he's beaten. I did think, oh, I wonder how he feels with everything that's gone on in his life the last, the last 10 years, really. When did he fight Alvarez? 26. The last 8 or 9 years have been absolute chaos. And I wonder if he felt a bit of FOMO, at least, watching those 2 fight and conduct business as it should be done. But anyway, that's, again, a story for another day. Thank you for watching. I have a video on Usyk Dubois coming up very soon. Bye-bye.